Your patience careful. My name is Shanika Wilson. I'm one of the co-chairs for Youth Education and Libraries Committee. I'm going to give it 1 minute and we're going to call the meeting to order because, as everyone knows, we have a long agenda.
You want to sit here and I'll sit over there. This way you can be on camera.
Where's that on camera? You don't know.
I don't know. Is she on camera?
He was in the car.
All right, thank you.
Huh?
Tell me your name.
Oh, that's
I'm Satrina.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, I know you by email.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Oh, David talks about you all.
This is the camera, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's picking you.
When we talk.
I think it turns when you talk. It's an owl, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
very
That's
intelligent.
pretty cool.
It's weird.
That's what it does during our general meeting.
I don't know what's going on.
Yes, well, it's live.
It's sure.
Okay. All right. You're looking for parking?
Yeah, she was looking for parking.
Okay.
Made you go straight.
Okay. Then let's go ahead. Let me get a paper and pen and take notes. And let's get ready to call the meeting to the station. The train stopped at every station for whatever reason.
Thank you. Where were you coming from?
House Station, you're the one.
Oh, all the way up?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to have a hearing.
Are you for youth education libraries or housing?
Housing.
Is that the next one?
Oh, one door over.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay. Then they'll for you.
Thank
All right,
you.
then.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
I'm lost.
All right, then, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order at 6:36 p.m. Today is Tuesday, March 12th. Is that right?
Yes.
2024?
Yes.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Nice to see you. If anyone has any questions, I am on my phone as well, so you can put things in the chat, but just give me a moment to reply because I'm doing a couple of multitasking things. Very quickly, the Community Health Forum is coming up this Saturday. So Youth Education Library and the Health Committee is putting on this health forum. What I wanted to mention was that we need volunteers. So YEL, that goes out to you. If you'd like to join us from 11 to 4, it's going to be at the Columbia Forum.
Saturday?
Yep.
I have a play in there.
It's last night.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to join us, all right, I'll put an email as well so that we can have, we're gonna have a ton of presenters. And there's going to be workshops as well upstairs. That'll be good.
Sounds
Yeah, a lot of
great.
mental health programs and just health in general for the communities. It's good to hear about. All right.
Shanika, you know what? Hi. I hope you guys can hear me, but I just wanted to come on to say what an awesome, wonderful contribution the co-chair Shanika and Deirdre have made on behalf of youth education and libraries to this public health forum. It is invaluable. And I think you upped it a great deal with the addition of IBREA and forward inclusion and using, our community partners, whether they're through WHDC, to just add to what will be a really, I think, stellar event. So we do need people to come, show up, and take in, what's going to be offered. And just thank you so very, very much for your contribution. Okay.
I'll give you a call after the meeting if you're still up. I'll text you first.
Yeah, I'll be up.
You've been pulling a lot of hours. We couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Is Kai online? Kai Bush from Heath? If you are, Kai, please feel free to unmute yourself because I'm looking through it. Apologies.
No problem. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Do not plan to take up too much of your time. Would just love, and if I can get sharing capabilities, I just would like to put up the flyer. But as that's happening, my name is Kai Bush. I am representing the Harlem Educational Activities Fund. We are a nonprofit college prep after school program based in Harlem. We've been open for over 30 years. And we are hosting, apologies, I'm in two board meetings at this moment. We are hosting our first annual community resource fair, which will take place on March 23rd from 12 to 3 p.m. This is a time for the community to come out to get resources, whether they're academic, whether they're youth services, legal, financial, safety, health. We are bringing people of all types of organizations to come and provide those resources for the community, but also really focusing on the family day. We are hosting some fun workshops that anyone that attends can participate in. To just give some more details, we're having organizations like Art in the Park, Edward Jones Financial Services, PAL, Legal Aid Society, Forward Inclusion, the actual NYPD Community Affairs team will be showing up, and many more. We also have 3 workshops that will be taking place, like a food and nutrition workshop, a paint and chill, and a self-defense workshop. So if you are interested in attending, you can use the QR code at the bottom to RSVP. If you know of anyone that would like to attend or you think would be great for them to attend, feel free to share. I will add this in the chat, and I will add my email if you have any questions.
And Kai, do you have a link for the registration in addition to the QR code?
Yes, I will add that in.
Put it in the chat for me, please, so I can, I'll copy it as well. Go ahead, Lydia.
Yeah, no, just what does HEAF stand for?
Harlem Educational Activities Fund.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Kai. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to get ready to dive into our presenters. So everyone, please take no offense. I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. When the timer goes off, that doesn't mean that you have to abruptly stop talking. That's your cue to kind of say the last little things and wrap it up. This way we ensure that we're not all here until 10 p.m. So I'm going to set a timer. I'd like to see if Sarah, please pardon me if I pronounce your last name incorrectly, is in the way.
Yes, so yes, and so yes.
Thank you, Laura. Okay, yes, all right, so please feel free to start your presentation.
And I'm here, am I okay here, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
It should start showing up. I'm surprised it's the one Kai.
Oh, okay.
Give us a minute, let's see if it shows up. But Pilar, please feel free to floor.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pilar Sulo, and I am with Reading Partners, New York. I am very excited to be able to introduce the work Reading Partners is doing in the West Harlem community. So let's really quick tell you who Reading Partners. Reading Partners is a national educational nonprofit organization that is being operating in New York for 13 years now. Our work is deeply committed to educational equity and to providing support, literacy support to neighborhoods and communities that need it the most. So I'm here more to bring awareness to a literacy crisis in the United States and to ask for your support in our efforts to engage with this community. So did you know that only 32% of 4th graders read at grade level? That is, yes, only 32%, which means 68% don't. Studies have found that students that in elementary school that don't read at grade level are the ones most likely to drop out of high school and less likely to go to college. And so this is the crisis that I'm here to talk about. So I just ask for your help to support our efforts to engage with the principals, school, community organizations, and West Harlem, so then we can continue to provide high quality, free tutoring sessions to 1,300 young students in Harlem and across New York. Okay, So to address the literacy crisis, that's our name, Reading Partners. We partner with the community. That's what we do. And from the community, we recruit the volunteers. So when you were saying volunteers, I understand. Yes. So we recruit the volunteers. We train them so they can provide tutoring sessions to students. So we provide the lessons to students from from K to 4th grade. They who are between 6 to 2.5 years behind reading. These tutoring sessions include phonics, phonetic awareness, fluency, in reading. So,
please feel free to mute yourselves, everyone. Thank you. Go ahead, Dolores, I'm sorry.
no worries. And also vocabulary comprehension, right? Our curriculum is aligned with the state standards and also with the science of reading. So then our tutors, our trained tutors, can implement best practices and teach the children to become proficient readers. So in fact, 82% of the students last year, 82% of the students enrolled in Reading Partners program were able to reach their goals, their literacy goals, 82%. So that's great. So we are currently partnered with 20 schools in the 4 boroughs of New York. And one of those schools is here in West Harlem. Is 123, 123 Mahalia Jackson. Yes, and 140th Street and Frederick Douglass Boulevard, correct. So we've been partners with that school since 2017.
Okay.
And so far this year, we have tutored 71 students so far this year. And we have recruited 61 tutors from the community. And we have delivered 888 sessions. So that's the good news. So again, I'm really here to bring, to raise awareness to this situation and to ask you for help to be able us to engage with the community. Thank you.
I'd like to open the floor up to questions. So please feel free to use the raise hand function. If you're on Zoom, I'll be looking. Tiago, I see you, so please go ahead.
Just a small question. So you say the 82% were able to reach like literacy goals. Does that mean like reading at grade level?
Correct.
Okay, great.
Yes, correct.
What I'd like to know, and forgive me, I hope I'm not skipping anyone. I don't see any hands up. I wanted to know, so you mentioned having volunteers. What does that mean? Because what I'm thinking when you're in schools, you're working with teachers. Is this an after-school program mostly? And how do you screen volunteers? Because everyone who's willing isn't necessarily adept. Okay,
that's a great question.
Yeah.
So we work with in the schools, we have a reading center with the schools that we partner. So we have a reading center in the school and we work with the teachers hand by hand. So when the teacher is having there's a student that is falling behind, and this is a student between 6 months behind to 2.5 years behind.
Okay.
So sometimes the teachers get the student, but they can go back because everybody else in the class is going to get back. So that is student, when, for instance, they have English or they have reading, the student will go to the reading center instead of staying in the class. So the teacher are the ones who refer the students to us.
So they're not necessarily working with you.
Correct. So they refer the students to us. So now the tutors, a lot of our tutors, like we work with the community. So for instance, there's a lot of tutors that are from college. So Columbia University, we have a lot of them. And so they are in federal school study. So those kind of volunteers, there's other people that are being made retired teachers, people that are retired, but, in professions, many of them. And we also train them because we have a curriculum. So our curriculum is designed for a person to, so you have a script. So you know exactly what you're teaching, the lesson that you're teaching. And so we also have two ways of doing it, in person in the reading centers and also online.
Go ahead. I have a question. My question is, how long are the sessions and how often do you meet the students? Is it 5 days a week for 30 minutes or like 3 days a week for like an hour? What is the name of the curriculum you use?
Yes, that's a good question. So the sessions are 45 minutes and they receive 2 sessions per week. And the curriculum is our own curriculum that is based on the science of reading and also with state standards. So we, did I answer your question?
One thing, your question, brother. So how did they get assessed at the end to determine?
Oh, good question. So we assess, and in the school too, 3 times a year. So they get assessed and they have to take the test, the reading test for the state, and they have to pass. And this based on that is that we're giving you like the 82%. So it's based on that. So they, so we, the kids take this special tutoring, and then they're able to go back to grade level.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
There's no hand.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Lindsay Stone, thank you for having my back here. Lindsay, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Great, thank you. I was wondering what the curriculum contains as far as English language learners, given like the influx of asylum-seeking kids as well who are entering the school system at various ages. How is it supporting, or is it supporting English language learners?
Oh, yes. I mean, the curriculum is with for English language learners. Yes.
Will
Is
it,
that the question?
well, I guess maybe is she forgive me, I don't want to speak for you. I'm wondering if she's concerned about how are you able to accommodate any student whose first language isn't English and may be struggling, not even just with reading, but with learning language as well. Are you able to accommodate those students?
Okay, that's a good question. We take students that are conversational English.
Okay.
If there's no conversational English, then that's different. Then we won't be able to take them. And besides, most of them, they have a special programs for that on the schools.
Did that answer your question, Lindsay? Pardon me if I so for you.
But thank you.
No, thank you for paraphrasing.
Wonderful. All right, thank you so much for that. So you're looking to get into schools now at MCB9.
Yes.
Right.
Community principals, talking to principals, schools, community organizations, neighborhood institutions. You know.
You mentioned that the tutor is free. Is it free for the school, but it still have to go through their process?
They have to go through the process,
Okay.
but we are funded by, so we are a nonprofit, so we're funded by corporate sponsors. We're funded also in New York, we are funded by AmeriCorps. So AmeriCorps also fund that, and for members of the community of all levels.
Okay, wonderful. All right, thank you so much. I don't see any other questions. Okay, all right, thank you, Pilar. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to move right on down the line. Harlem Business Alliance, is Monique signed in?
Yes, I am. Hi, good evening.
Do you need screen sharing?
Yeah, why not? I'll share the flyer.
All right.
Thank you. And I'll just get started and jump right in. Is that okay?
Yes, I'm going to set the timer after you start talking.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you for allowing me to be able to present. So my name is Monique Hector. Actually, I'll share first. I actually volunteered for Reading Partners many years ago. So funny enough, I did. And it was a good experience. It definitely, it's early in the morning. I know someone asked about time, but it's like 8 a.m. or something. It's crazy. I mean, for a working adult, it's challenging. I'll say that. But it was a good experience. But that's separate. So again, my name is Monique Hector. I am the Executive Director for Harlem Business Alliance. Harlem Business Alliance, HBA, if you are aware of it, is a nonprofit that has been operating in Harlem for over 30 years. And our focus is supporting businesses and specifically Black-owned businesses. So we have a mission and a dedication to provide environments and opportunities for entrepreneurs, not just in Harlem, but throughout New York City. We are based in Harlem. You know, that's where we started. That's our focus in making sure that we're supporting the Harlem community. But we also see entrepreneurs throughout New York City, which is great. One of the things why I'm presenting today, and I'm very excited about it, is that we were awarded through West Harlem Development Corporation to be able to provide a different type of program. It's entrepreneurship, but it's for youth. So we are hosting, it's called Young Bosses of Harlem. It's actually a program that I developed when I worked at Queens Public Library, funny enough, for Queens residents and Queens youth. And now we're bringing it to Harlem residents. So it is called Young Bosses of Harlem. It is and I'll share the flyer if you can see my screen. And I'll also attach it in the chat along with my information and the link. But it is free workshops that we are providing for youth to be able to learn how to build out a business, develop a business idea. It's very digestible. This is one of the things I've learned when you're working with youth. It has to be creative, it has to be fun, it has to be digestible, and it's easy for them to be able to create a plan and be able to develop their ideas. So we are providing entrepreneurs and students, participants with a toolkit, a toolbook that they'll actually be learning from and filling out as they're guided by an actual business owner. We have a business owner that is based in Harlem that is going to be leading the classes. And yeah, so we have a business owner that's going to be leading the classes, and she has been in business for many years. She is able to connect with young entrepreneurs. The ages for this program is 16 to 24, and they will be able to pitch their business. They'll be able to actually create a podcast. So at our location at HBA, we actually have a podcast and content studio. So one of the highlights for this is allowing entrepreneurs to also put technology into the work that they're doing. So we're going to allow them to be able to build a podcast for their business, create content. They're going to be able to learn how to present, how to be professional speakers. They're going to learn how to collaborate with each other as peers as well. One of the things I want to highlight is that because we are ideally looking for entrepreneurs that want to be a part of this program, and also work with organizations that already have participants that would be interested so that you can sign them up for the program directly. But one of the things that we're going to do as well is understanding that entrepreneurs, well, youth don't always have like a solid idea and they're not sure what they want to do, or they have something in mind. If they have something in mind already that they want to start, then we'll definitely help them hone in on that idea. If they're not sure about what they want to do, we'll actually give them ideas so that they can develop something based on an idea that we gave them. So they can get to choose and pick from different options and then be able to build on that idea and just learn the concepts of entrepreneurship and business concepts. We will be having an information session on Tuesday the 19th, as well as the 21st, Thursday the 21st. It will be at our location from 4 to 5. The time is flexible. I'm also open to understanding what's the best time for youth to be able to come to our location. We're in Central Harlem on Lenox and 124th. But we have an info session so that people can learn more about it. Organizations can also attend to learn more about the program. One of the things that I'm trying to do as well to make sure that we are reaching entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, is also maybe drop into an organization's location. So if you have a set of youth that are already participating in programs and they're on site at your location, we can be flexible to come to your location and be able to deliver the programming. One of the things also that I want to do is provide 3 entrepreneurs, 3 winners, $100 each to be able to pitch their business, give them some confidence, and then also let them get a chance to win some money. So that is around about the program. If you have any questions, just let me know. Again, we'll drop the link in the chat as well as this flyer where you can click RSVP here. However, if you do have, if you're part of an organization that has youth that you think would be interested in this, then please reach out to me and we can have a conversation to schedule something.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Monique. I already have a hand up, Lydia.
That is
Please.
great. I wanted to say that I like some of the auxiliary skills you're talking about. The speaking, presentation skills. This is so important.
Correct.
Even if they don't end up going into business, those are the skills you
Exactly.
navigate successfully. And just as a follow-up, hopefully this works when they're going to school, you know, if they're doing, because they can be all absorbing, doing entrepreneurship, but it also has to accommodate, I guess they're gonna be in school, these kids, right?
Say that last sentence again.
They'll be doing this program with you, but they also have to be going to school at the same time, right?
They should be, but it's ages 16 to 24. So if they are out of school, then that's okay. We're not, we're fine with that. Ideally, the program will be after school, so it won't be during school hours.
And okay, Lydia, I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
All right. I wanted to know, you mentioned the information session, but when do we think this may happen?
So the program can happen in April and May. So April and May, we have availability. So the thing is, if we do it at our location, the program will run in April, working around spring recess, which is a long time. But if we have an opportunity to actually come to your location, we can be flexible about scheduling workshops, which we're absolutely fine with, because we want to reach them where they are. We know that it's challenging for them to come out to something after school. They're not coming on the weekend. I'm trying to be realistic about it. But we want to be able to provide them with this opportunity where they're able to work with each other, they're able to learn, and still get the opportunity to work with our content and podcast studio. So even if we go to your location, we'll still open it up for the kids, not kids, but young adults to be able to come to our site whenever they want to also utilize our space for free.
Awesome. I like that you took the idea from when you were working, I keep looking there. You were working at Queens College, Queens Library, and over here. So that's fantastic. I want to say that's a really great idea. And thank you for bringing it to our community.
Of course.
Now, I don't see any other hands. Does anyone have any questions? All right. All right. Well, thank you, Monique. Nice to meet you. And all right, Riverside. Oh, I know that Alicia hit me in the chat and mentioned that. So Alicia, please tell me what we should do. Do you need help with the presentation?
I'm trying to find a loop. Okay, so I have Coach Hargrave and Chris Snell on. They're both from the Riverside Hawks. Chris and Coach have presentations. I know due to time, we'll let if you can let Chris do it, because it's an overall presentation, and then if not, we'll come back with Culture and Pump next month.
All right. Well, let's start.
Okay. Chris, this is Janika, and this is Deidre. This is Chris Snell. He's one of the directors at Riverside Hawks.
All right. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
I'm going to set
How you guys doing?
All right. I'm very well. Nice to meet you. I don't know if you heard me earlier. I'm going to set a timer of about 5 minutes. When the timer goes off, just feel free to kind of wrap it up. You stop abruptly, but just, make your key points. All right. But please, the floor is yours.
Yes. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. And so welcome everybody. Once again, I think I presented maybe 2 years ago to you guys, or maybe it was last year. I forget what it was. But nevertheless, my name is Chris Snell. I'm the Director of Operations for the Riverside Hawks. We also have on the call Anthony Hargraves, who's the Program Director. Founded in 1961, the Riverside Hawks' sole mission was to just use basketball as a catalyst and a tool for youth in the Harlem community to pursue academic achievements and also try to expand their knowledge base by trying to get into college by not having to worry about paying for college coming from the socioeconomic background that most of our kids are coming from. We have a strong legacy. We're known for producing some NBA greats like Ron Artest, Lamar Odom, Elton Brand, Kenny Anderson, Chris Mullin, Anthony Hargreaves is one of our legacy Hall of Famers from Iona College. We also have McDonald All-Americans. We have many of our student athletes who don't necessarily go on to play collegiate basketball, but now some of them are the future doctors, lawyers, and officers and people in the community that are out here today. The program is pretty much ran from a three-tier perspective. Anthony Hargreaves is our program director. I'm the director of operations and development, and Daniel Colon is our director of athletics and academics. Most recently, Anthony Hargreaves was recognized by Jermaine Williams from the Public Advocate's Office for his work in Manhattan Community Board 9 in West Harlem. Myself, I was selected for the Elevating Black Leaders in Sports Initiative by the Laura Sports of Good Foundation. I was selected in 2023, and we were selected again for 2024 for their cohort. Most notably, last year for our graduation celebration, we had the Honorable Judge Milton Tingling, who's the chair of West Harlem Development Corporation, as our keynote speaker. We have partnerships with the Ardian Foundation, New York Community Trust, West Harlem, Columbia Community Service, SNL, up to us. And there's been numerous press and media coverages about our commitment to the community and what our kids are up to that can be found on CBS News 12, NBC. We also have been featured on HBO specials as well. Overarching, the Riverside Hawks is a girls and boys centric program. We start with kids as low age as 5, and we go all the way up until 12th grade. We're broken down into 3 sections. We have our Baby Hawks program, which is elementary school program. We have our Leadership Academy, which is our middle school program. And then we have our College Bound program, which is our high school program. And underneath each program, we have what we call our ABCs, academics, basketball, and community. We wholeheartedly, if there's one thing that you guys learn about us today, I tell everybody it's as easy as ABC. So if anybody ever asks you what the Riverside Hawks is about, you just tell them ABC, academics, basketball, and community. In 2023, we had 100% of our high school students graduate. We had 100% of our high school students get accepted to colleges. We have given out over $22,000 for our high school scholarships that was raised by our board members. We have almost close to $1 million in prep school scholarships that our kids have been awarded in 23 and 24. And our class of 2023 boys and girls has amassed a whopping $5.5 million in scholarships and grants from their participation in our program. So we're very happy with the results of our students, and we continue to try to raise the bar. Who do we serve? Almost 50% of our program families are from Washington Heights, from the Harlem and the Bronx community. 70% of our families have a household income below $90,000 a year. And as a program, we take pride in the fact that almost 90% of our students are coming from underrepresented groups. And we're really a melting pot from Black, Hispanic, Latino, to multiracial, to Alaskan Natives, et cetera. As I mentioned, we have our Baby Hawks program. Our Baby Hawks program is kindergarten through 4th grade. There's a couple of pictures of the kids. In the community, we have what's called a Hawks in Training program, AKA HIT. This is a program that exposes kids at the ages of 5 to 8 years old. We run it for 10 weeks on Saturdays and Sundays. The kids come in, they work with our instructors, and they get introduced to the game of basketball. All the kids that participate in the program are given a uniform, a medal, a trophy, and a book bag for their participation. Our Leadership Academy is our middle school program, specifically 5th grade through 8th grade. Once again, we have our ABC model that is tantamount throughout the whole program. We offer free tutoring to any one of our students in the program. If you are getting a C or below, it's mandatory that you are receiving tutoring and that you are participating in trying to increase your academic grades. If you're not participating and getting the academic help that you need, there's disciplinary actions that are taken for the kids. We offer TACS, which is the Catholic High School Exam Prep, and we also offer SSAT, which is your boarding school and prep schools exam prep. We do that in September, and it typically goes into November. And we have traditionally about 40 students that are participating on average. We also have our community league program every Tuesday and Thursday night from 4 to 5:30. We offer skills and drills workshops that are open to the community. And then we have academic enrichment activities that are taking place from 5:30 to 7. Every year we have about 300 to 400 kids that are trying out for our elite level teams. And unfortunately, they're not able to make it. So the community league was our answer to try to keep the community kids involved and create an atmosphere where they can participate and partake in the basketball or game that they love and have an opportunity to play on a local level within the community. We have our Saturday Night Lights program.
Time. Chris, time. Time.
Oh, that's time? Oh, awesome.
Go faster, go faster.
Oh, you finish up. You can finish it up.
Sorry. But at least you got to know this much about us. It's as easy as what? ABC. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much.
Chris, can you share
No problem.
Can you share the PowerPoint presentation with us?
Yeah, I asked in the chat, I'd asked for an email address where I can send it to. I don't know if anyone responded to me yet.
I think I did.
It's in there.
But
Oh yeah, I see Monique Monique Hector. No, sorry. Where should I send it to? MCB9YEL. I'll send it right now.
That's us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, are there any questions? I can't see the Zoom now, so Deirdre, you're on it. I can't do the alarm and do the Zoom. Once I was on Zoom, it wouldn't make any noise. Yeah, Go has his hand up. Go ahead, Tiana.
So, just out of curiosity, what's the amount of students that go through the entire program from lower to high school?
We're currently servicing about 700 kids annually.
Wow.
And that's in the form of our elite basketball teams, our impact teams, and our community league programming and our SNL programming.
That's amazing.
We have about 20, we have over 27 basketball teams.
Well, that's amazing.
That's really cool.
15, about 15 girls, about 12 girls programs, 15 boys programs. Our girls program has been a tremendous asset the last 2 years. We hired Michael Toro as our new girls coordinator. He's been doing a phenomenal job rebuilding the girls program, and be on the lookout for them. We have some very, very committed ladies. If you go to our Instagram page, you'll see the commitments, the colleges that they're attending. We have a strong 7th grade team that's really poised to win some championships this year. So our girls are making noise in the community, and we're super proud of them.
All right.
Okay, Lydia.
I see a hand.
Oh, you see a hand online? Okay.
No, I was just gonna ask them, this is silly, but do you have any senior hawks?
Right. Think about that community.
No, we can come like a showcase. You know, Chris, when you guys have a showcase or something like that, please send it to us, because I always find out about it after. I don't know if because maybe I'm not in the right email list, but you know, if you have an exhibition game, please invite us and we'll spread the word.
Yeah, what we can do, which will be a very impactful thing, like we have our academic elite showcase that actually takes place in Hackley. Tony oversees that program. We can definitely make sure that you guys are aware of that date. It's a day that we bring out. It's a free event that we do in the community. It's the only one of its kind. Other people are charging $1,000, $800 for kids to participate. But it's an accumulation of all of our girls and boys, our juniors and seniors we have 70 college institutions in the building. We have financial literacy classes taking place. So we'll make sure that we put that on your radar. So if you guys can come out and check us out and see what we're doing.
All right, thank you so much.
So I see Edrika Alcantara from KIP. She has a hand up.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Adirka, and I am a teacher at KIP NYC, KIP Infinity Elementary School, and an advocacy point person. And again, thanks for sharing. I had a question. Since we're in elementary school, we don't have like any basketball teams for our elementary students. And I was wondering, do you guys like come to schools to do the same presentation, or how do we go about getting more information if we were interested? Because we do have like basketball programs within the middle school and high school, but we don't see that in our elementary school. So just a little bit more information about that.
Yeah, if you would like, you could send an email. You can email me at csnell@riversidehawks.org.
Okay.
And then we can also connect with ahargraves@riversidehawks.org as well. And we can set up a meeting with you to discuss some of your needs and see if there's anything that we can do to assist. We were more than willing to come into school. Mr. Tony is very active in the community, does a lot of work with the kids, basketball. He got referees all over New York City, always, overseeing our SNL program. So there's definitely something that we should be able to assist you with or point you in the right direction.
Okay, thank you. And you dropped that in the chat.
I put my name in the chat. I already put my name and telephone number in the chat for you to have directly to reach me, and we can have a discussion tomorrow or the next day, whenever you want.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
But also let her know, I'm sorry to interrupt, that on Saturday from 5 to 7 and 7 to 9 is Saturday Night Lights, where kids from 5 to 13 come from 5 to 7, and they play basketball. It's for free, and they get the feeling, skills, and drills, and to play basketball. And the older kids get to come. We get about 40 kids from 4 to 7. We have 2 gyms. They have 2 gyms, excuse me. And from 5 to 9, we have the big kids, keeping them off the streets.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Oh, I love that. Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for asking and for being a part of this. That was great. Now you have another connection.
Last comment. Just make sure you see it in the chat, only because I'm making sure.
I put it in there, Tony.
Okay, it's important that we reach out to, other agencies to see if we can offer any assistance whatsoever.
But you guys should see my email and phone number, and also Tony's.
Yeah, both. Everybody's number's their number. Yes.
Okay.
I'm back in there. It's the screenshot for us too. All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. Do you see any other hands up? I don't, but I don't have host permission anymore.
I don't see any other hands.
All right, thank you so much, Christopher.
All right, thank you all.
See you.
Appreciate it.
See you always. I'm waving at the place. All right. All right. So I know that Sade Powell should be here. I don't know if anyone else from Doing It Together is with us, but
no, it'll just be me tonight. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sade. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I'm the admin director, grant writer over at Doing Art Together. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the organization and what it is that we do and why we're so passionate about art education. So, Doing Art Together, DAT, is an organization dedicated to the intellectual, social, and cultural development of under-resourced youth. And our mission centers on making art accessible and impact for every child in New York City. And the way we do that is through visual arts, hands-on workshops in schools. And so sometimes it's after schools, but mostly it's in schools. And we partner with the school admin and the teachers to do culturally responsive hands-on art workshops. A lot of times they include a STEAM element, which is science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, just to bolster up whatever current curriculum that they're taking throughout the week. And so the organization started in 1982 by 2 women, Muriel and Electra. And Electra is still the founder today, and she's still very much at the helm of things. And it started at the Met Museum. And since it has just really embraced its role as a beacon for diversity and artistic expression. And so we're based in Harlem, but our programs extend across all boroughs. Currently, we're in the West Harlem District 5 schools, PS 161, PS 36, and PS 125. Our programs are led by skilled teaching artists, most of whom are immigrants, people of color, uh, women, queer folks, and a lot of the students and the young people that we teach art to are from the ages of 4 to 22. We're not just in public schools, we're also in alternative schools. One of our partners for over 20 years has been Restart Academy. And so we see a lot of we serve a lot of young people at their different sites throughout the 5 boroughs. Uh, so another addition to our programs is that we'll do parent and child workshops, which is really fun, and it's a great time and a great tool to allow parents and child to learn alternative and otherwise ways to express themselves and to share other aspects of themselves and to bond. And we do a lot of family program in partnership with West Harlem schools, one of which was PS 125. We had a family day where everyone came out, received resources, as well as did art workshops together. And we were able to serve about 500 community members that day. I think one of the things that I just want to highlight, all of us who are partners with schools or have partnerships with New York City's Department of Education, the budget cuts have completely devastated a lot of the school's programming, especially our education. And I'm not sure if some of you know, but New York has the nation's largest school system, and our education is not mandated, even though there's been extensive research and data to supports that the benefits of our education are very clear. It significantly decreases dropout rates among students from low income backgrounds and from divested neighborhoods. And, you know, when they are engaged in the arts, they're twice as likely to graduate than their peers who don't come from those backgrounds. So, this is why we need your support. We need everyone's kind of advocacy and everyone's buy-in to art education. One of the fun projects that our teaching artist, Paul Dio, does with the different schools that he works with are murals. And one of the murals actually is in Harlem on 126 and Malcolm X Boulevard, right next door to that restaurant corner social. That was a mural that was celebrating Harlem's Black rich culture. And that was created by Paul Dio in partnership with his students. So yeah, thank you for your time and consideration. And if there's any questions that you have about the organization, I'm happy to answer them. I'm also going to drop in the chat our social media and an email in case you're interested of learning about more and maybe partnering. Thank you.
Thank you. So much, Sade. Does anyone have any questions for Sade and for doing art together? Look, I don't have the chat open.
I do. I'm not sure if the question is for Sade, but I know that is it Astu has a question or Astu? Ms. Paul?
Feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Okay.
Hello. Yes.
Hello.
My name is Astu Paul. I used to live in the building 2, St. Nicholas Place, the fire that happened 2 weeks ago. Yes, so we the apartment that we lived in is me, my husband, and our 3 children. The youngest 2.5, 7 years old, and 9 years old. The apartment lease wasn't under our name. And then Red Cross took over, helped us, stayed in a hotel. And then HPC helped us move into a family housing. Now the person who had the lease under their name just popped up today.
Astu, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, please keep interrupting you. Did you mean to be in our meeting or did you want to go to the housing and land use meeting?
Right.
I believe they're having a hearing today.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
In
okay.
the Education and Libraries Committee meeting, and while I hear what you're saying is very serious and we can help you try to figure out a way to get some resources, this may
Okay.
not be meant to be in.
Oh.
Let me see if I can put
If
it.
you can you
Put
put
her
your
email
email in the chat
and I'll send her
and
the
we
link.
can forward you the link for housing and land use. Is that okay? Astu, is that all right with you?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Put your email in the chat.
Put your email in the chat.
I'll put it right now.
All right, thank you. And please good luck to your family. I hope that you're able to get some resources. Please also feel free to respond to our email if you need additional resources. We will do whatever we can to put you in touch with the right people.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, absolutely. Please take care. Thank you. I had a question for doing art together. Sade, did you say the ages of your students? Forgive me if I
4 to 22.
You did say 4 to 22. I thought I got it not right. That's amazing. Where are you servicing the older young adults at? How do you reach?
At the alternative schools. So a lot of that happens through Restart Academy.
That's awesome. I like that you're working on alternative schools. We don't hear enough organizations come that are servicing those, and those students want to have those programs too. So that's great. That's really fantastic.
They make some really beautiful art, and it's a lot of those students too that make that create the in school and community murals. And one of the I think my favorite things is when we get to the point in the curriculum where the youth start making self-portraits, or they start making portraits about who they want to be. A lot of the times you can just see, so you learn so much about what they've been through and who they want to become in their dreams, and it accesses a vulnerability that a lot of times these young people, they don't get to express. So
good point. Self-portraits are really telling. They are really like a window to what's happening that we can't see. I remember having a program like that in school, and the way it brought us kind of closer together. And we were in high school, we weren't being emotional, we were always ripping on each other, but that program made a lot of us very close because it's very vulnerable to show who you really are underneath, who you have to be in public, etc. So that's fantastic. Please keep up.
Thank you.
I had heard only maybe a little bit about your organization, so it's really great to hear from you and to have you here. So please keep in touch with us as well. Before we move, I want to make sure we're not missing any questions for Sade and doing art together. Anything in the chat?
No.
Thank you so much, Sade. We're going to go down the list to Jaya. Am I saying your name correctly, Jaya? For Broadway Presbyterian.
Hi, Jaya. Very close though.
Okay, let me put a little pronunciation for myself, Jaya.
That's okay.
Okay, wonderful. Please, the floor is yours.
I'll give you 1 second. 1 second.
Give you a second. Okay. Do you need screen sharing capabilities?
Yeah, I was just gonna share our website so that people could see it and see a few pictures.
Awesome. All right.
You can go ahead, Jaya.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. Okay. So I'm the director of Broadway Presbyterian Church Nursery. We are a nonprofit nursery school on 114th Street and Broadway, so right across from Columbia. So we're very small. We have the capacity to have 35 children in our school. We were founded in 1991 as a church school, but we are now a non-religious school. They made that decision later on in the 90s so that we could serve more community members and not just religious members of the community. We are a school that follows a progressive approach. I think that makes us different from a lot of other programs. So I went to Bank Street for graduate school, and so did some of our teachers. And we follow a very similar approach to Bank Street. So we believe in hands-on learning, in experiential learning, in developmentally appropriate learning. So when we're teaching, we're really thinking about each child as an individual. We're thinking about where their development is and knowing that young children are in such different places developmentally. And because we're small, we're really able to understand each child and really nurture them and support their families. So we do parent education. We do a lot of arts in our school. We have an art specialist. We have a music specialist. And so, yeah, so being a nonprofit school, we were lucky enough to get a grant from West Harlem Development. And that goes towards our financial aid fund. Being a nonprofit program in so many ways is wonderful because it allows us to have this very specific curriculum and to retain teachers who are so well trained. All of our head teachers have master's degrees. They are state certified. We do ongoing professional development. That's all really important to us. But being a nonprofit program is part of that because there are a lot of childcare settings that are for profit. And that means that teachers are usually paid by the hour. They're not given health benefits. They're not given retirement benefits. So being a nonprofit program just allows us to actually pay our teachers' salaries and have teachers who are really, really knowledgeable and who really want to keep learning and be there. So this grant money is actually going towards financial aid for families. I think that's always a struggle because we want to create a high quality program, but we also want to be inclusive. And we're in Morningside Heights, which is a diverse neighborhood, and we want that diversity. We want all kinds of families. We want children from all different backgrounds. And yet we have to try and make our program affordable. So that's where any extra fundraising or grant money goes towards to making programs more affordable for the children who attend our school. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to keep it short. I can put the link for our website into the chat in case anybody wants to visit or watch any of our videos, but our website includes all of our admissions information, contact information, and we are part of ISAGNY, which is an independent school association, and that also allows our teachers to keep getting ongoing training. So that's all.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for the presentation. And I was wondering about the grant. Thank you for wanting to have a diverse and inclusive student body. I shouldn't have to say thank you. That should be obvious, but I appreciate it because it's not necessarily, well, it's not necessarily shared by everyone, every institution that we come across. So truly it is appreciated because the children.
Yeah, it honestly makes, New York is a diverse place, right? And these children are surrounded by so many types of people, and we want them to see themselves. We want them to see their friends and their families and share their cultures and share their languages. And that's actually part of our curriculum too, is including that DEI work in an age-appropriate way. So that just means having baby dolls with different skin tones and having books that have people who look different from each other. And when we're giving them paint and crayons and markers, making sure they have a variety of skin tones to choose from. We're not choosing for them, but they're able to choose, So that's very important to us. Thank you.
That's amazing. Yes, that's amazing. Thank you, Jaya.
I do have a quick question about admissions. And when do you take applications? And
so the preschool, I could talk a lot on this, but I'm not going to waste everybody's time. But the preschool climate has changed so much in the last 10 years. And, in some ways, public programs are more equitable. In other ways, they're not always the same quality as certain nonprofit programs. So there are pros and cons. I'm saying that to get to the point of admissions, which is that as part of an independent school association, there used to be very clear deadlines for admissions. Like it was like you apply by the fall, by like December, and you get notified in February. We just went through our first admissions round. And by February, everything was full. I think most schools will tell you at this point that it's a much more of a rolling admissions schedule, even though we only have 2 classrooms. Both of our classrooms are mostly full at this point for next year. We do have a few spots. So it's technically there's an admission season of applying starting in August and then getting notified in February, but people can keep applying as the year goes on.
Great, thank you, Jaya.
And Tiago had a question.
Yeah, just quickly, so 2 things, both about the financial aid. So there are classes of 35. How many students on average each year get access to financial aid? And how big generally is the package?
So the school in total can be 35 students. So that means actually it could be a little bit more. So like it could be 37. So in our younger classroom, which is 2-year-olds, it can be up to 12 with 3 teachers. And in our older class, which is 3s and 4s, it can be up to 15 with 3 teachers. I think so I became director, this is my 2nd year. And I've kind of changed the financial aid policy at our school because I feel that if we can make it work and if we can balance it, if we can balance our budget, which is always a struggle, I know that a lot of families can't afford, like almost $30,000 for their child to be in school from 9 to 5:30. And we're one of the cheaper programs. So, I mean, we try to give as much financial aid as we can. I would say half of families are getting some type of financial aid in our school.
That's good. That's great.
Does anyone pay 0 or all families expected to pay something?
All families are expected to pay something, and that's just because we're so small. We can't survive really if we were to, if we were a bigger program with lots of full paying families, it would be different. But we do rely on tuition to survive. So nobody's paying 0.
Okay. And Lydia, did you have a question?
No.
Okay. Used to it. All right, wonderful. And are there any questions online? Forgive me, Deidre.
No, there are no
I have
questions.
to keep asking you, okay?
No, I'll
All right,
let you know.
wonderful. Jaya, we'll have that form to you probably tonight or tomorrow. So no worries. And everybody else who submitted the form, we'll have it to you right away. If you have a form, please send it to us right away. If you want it back right away. And remember, we both have to go into the office to our own respective jobs and have time for that. So we're working from home. It delays. So tonight is best, please. All right, wonderful. I do have to make a quick addendum to the agenda. I apologize. I made a mistake. So everyone's staying the same exactly. Just I'm getting Ibrea in, and if anyone's wondering how I came to that conclusion, I go in order of how we receive the email requests for the meetings. So Ibrea, I see Isabel is here. Isabel.
Yes.
Would you like, are you ready to speak now? Do you have a moment? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Hi. It's okay, don't worry. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Isabel, do you need to share your screen?
Yes, please. I'm gonna share just a couple of slides. I'll be very brief.
Once you're co-host, I'll start. Once you start your presentation, I'll start the time.
Okay. Do you see? Okay.
Not yet.
Not
We're
yet.
able to share.
No.
Not yet. I'm ready when you are.
She is.
Okay. So you're co-host, so now you'll have to
share your
I have to do it. Right, sorry.
Yes, that's okay.
So, Share screen.
Share screen and find your presentation.
Do you see mine?
I don't see it as yet.
Hmm.
So hit the share screen button at the bottom of your
The green one.
the green button, that says share screen on your monitor.
Right, that's what I did.
So then you have to look for your, okay, it's coming.
Something's happening.
Okay, I
Okay.
have it.
Okay now? Yeah.
Awesome. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. So just briefly, I'll share about Ibrea Foundation. I'm the director at Ibrea Foundation. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm very grateful for these spaces, and Shanika and Deirdre are always so welcoming and so positive, and that's really great. And I love hearing from everybody's initiatives and good work. So just a little bit about Ibrea. We're a nonprofit, and I'll also share the website on the chat. For those of you who want more details, but very basically, we're a nonprofit, and we do holistic training and energy healing. We have consultative status with the United Nations, so the vision is global, and it's connected to social issues. So we promote a program called Brain Education as a way to not only for individuals and communities to grow and develop and heal, but for that to have a ripple effect and impact and create positive change in the society and overall contribute to the UN goals. So that's the big picture. So how these practices and these processes can help actually reduce poverty and create gender balance and reduce violence and all the big picture goals. And so we're in Harlem since 2015. And we started in A. Philip Randolph High School, and since then we've been working with A. Philip Randolph, providing the program mostly to junior and freshman students. So let me just move on here with the slides. So we've covered this. And yeah, in Harlem, so we're here since 2015. And I'll tell you now a little bit more about the school, but also our physical space here in Harlem is on 7th Avenue and 131st, between 131st and 132nd, and we do this kind of program and training and educational processes for the community and also beyond the community. And we pretty much offer classes every day, and we also have a course, we have private sessions, we have outreach programs and collaborations with other local NGOs, with influencer groups, and but all with the same goal to help people develop and heal and grow. And it's based, the program, a little bit about the program very briefly, it's based on the mind-body connection. So it is completely experiential, and it takes participants through a process of somatic work and concentration in themselves and in their bodies and in their minds, and sort of supports them in that process of healing and growth through the body, but working with the mind. And this is the program in A. Philip Randolph. These are some of the testimonies of the students we've been working with. So what we help them with is, it's really a process of empowerment. So it's not so much about releasing stress and just feeling better, which is great, and it's an element in the program, but our goal is more towards helping people really unleash their power, like understand that they have a choice to choose their emotions, that they have, that despite the environment, whether it's very difficult or it's not, they have this power to choose. So when the socioeconomic conditions are particularly difficult, it's not easy to sort of remember this and keep this character it's not easy for any of us. So in these contexts, it becomes especially important to help people know this and sort of develop this skill of like resilience and the power of choice and mental strength. So that's the main goal. But even to get there, we have to heal a lot from the past, because that's kind of preventing our confidence in the present. So it's a series of processes, and the whole curriculum is about 3 months and about 12 sessions, but sometimes we do it intensively in 2 or 3 days, or we can do it extensively over 1 year, with reinforcement, with deeper training. So it's kind of flexible and adaptable to the needs. And yes, that's the project in A. Philip Randolph. And this is a quote from the founder that I think summarizes things well. It's believe in the life inside you, believe in the great and holy mind within you, and push forward with the dream you have chosen until you make it. Sorry, I don't have my glasses with me. I can't read so smoothly. And then here's a link to a CBS News coverage that we had last year. So I'll drop it off in the box as well, in the chat box, for those of you who wanna hear a little bit more. I don't wanna take more time. Let me put that here, as well as the website. And then I'm very happy to take any questions or comments.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Isabel. You talk really quickly about the somatic. Like, I know how it looks and Deirdre knows how it looks, but tell everyone a little bit quickly about how you do the stretching, and please.
Yes, sure. Yeah. So for instance, let's say, so we do a lot of body tapping. Hopefully one day I can do a session for all of you and help you also feel better. So for instance, we would do like a lot of body tapping or stretching, just simple stretches, but the way it's guided, it's very much with the focus. So you pretty much the whole time their eyes are closed, and then we guide them through the feeling in their body. And then as they go deeper into their body, they can feel their mind. So they can start to have some emotion. It could be like frustration, or like, I can't do it, or, I'm not a flexible person. Like many preconceptions and emotions come up as you try to open your body deeply and your brain deeply, because they're completely connected. Then all kinds of mindsets and memories and many things come up in that process of concentration and opening. And then we would guide them through the process of kind of accepting themselves and their mind, and then keep going, hold the posture and take another action and keep going. And in that process, they not only heal, but they strengthen their confidence. Next time, like in their regular life, if they have a stressful situation, their body remembers, oh, I can handle this. I can face this difficulty, and I can breathe through it. I can think positively. I can move my body and work through it. So I hope it's a little challenging to explain. The best is experiencing, but that's in a nutshell what happens. I don't know if anybody read maybe The Body Keeps the Score. It's a good book that explains this process of somatic healing.
It's really beautiful, and it really frees you up. We've done it, and it really frees you up. It's very fantastic. And I'll see you Saturday.
Right.
You're gonna have a workshop
at the forum. Yes.
Yes, right. I will teach there, so I hope some of you can be there.
Yes. And I'll give you a call maybe later if you're awake.
I work late.
I just wanted to say, Isabel, thank you. I remember just hearing from the children during COVID, from some of your program and the activities that they had. and how they were able to cope and work through it. So thank you for all the work that you do.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for your support.
Will you be bringing back drop-in classes anytime? Because I know after COVID, it kind of stopped, but I don't think it's restarted. Do you think you may
It
restart?
was. Yeah, we hold classes here at the center. We do have a free class per month open to anybody in the community. That's the fourth Saturday of each month at 10 a.m.
All right, fourth Saturday.
Anybody's welcome to come and try it.
Wonderful. And do we have any questions for Isabel in the chat?
No questions in
There's
the
just
chat.
no age restriction on this?
I think for a free class, no. I know that you teach in high schools and yeah, no. So Lydia, we can go.
Yeah, I'm a senior dog.
Please come, please come. You're very welcome.
No, we all benefit, really. It's really fantastic. All right, thank you, Isabel. Thank you so much. And
You're
thank you
welcome.
for being patient for that little snafu. Apologies again. All right, if there are no other questions, all right, let's move on down the agenda. I have a presentation here from CUNY, and they're working with Brotherhood Sister Soul. So Logan, Brennan, Dominique, is anyone on?
Hi, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hi.
I'm
Yes.
at work, so I apologize for the noise in advance. I just wanted to make sure we show our face because we will be at that event on Saturday. And I love how the conversation has been floating around the youth and empowerment and just community togetherness. And that's really what Brosis is about. I am just a graduate student at the CUNY School of Public Health in Harlem, but we have been collaborating with Brotherhood Sister Soul, and they do a lot of good work. But basically what I'm focused on is the Green Youth Market. It's on the Johnny Hartman Plaza. It's every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And what's cool about this market is that the youth is actually running it. And I think that's really cool because we've had a lot of different people speak about the youth and basketball or like even the somatic stuff. I was listening, I'm at work, so I'm sorry if I missed anything. But I know that our job is to upscale the youth market because we've noticed that there isn't a lot of community engagement. And so I'm gonna send some links in the chat. And basically we're surveying the community. We have it in English and Spanish. We wish we could do it in more different languages, but that would just take too long. And this is only a year project. So basically in that survey, we're asking about demographics, opinions on food, because Harlem is a known food desert. And what's cool about the Green Youth Market is that we have EBT, we take health bugs. There's a whole different ways to get around that lack of food. Like we try to be very accommodating, and that's why we're surveying, just to make it more accommodating for the community. Whereas if they want more community vendors, if they want more community events, stuff like that, to make the scene more together. Because I'm not from Harlem, I'm from upstate New York, but I've been in Harlem, I've been going for the past year, and I've noticed that a lot of people, when asking them about this youth market, they have no idea what it is. And so that's really what the survey is about. And on Saturday, we'll talk about nutrition and how I know it's kind of like stigmatized. Like I know in a lot of different people of color communities, like they don't really like to eat healthy, or it's expensive, or they don't know the difference between organic and non-organic. So it's just creating that awareness. And so if you're able to share this survey, because the more people we reach, the better we can help the community. We don't want to just throw in some random stuff. So that's why I'm here today to just talk to you guys. And then we're also having a community listening event on April 20th, where the community could share their opinions on food, on farmers markets in general, and just to better upscale the market. And if there's any questions, I know I'm going really fast, but again, I'm at work, so I just want to make sure I cover everything. And the market this year opens May 14th. Yeah. So I'm really excited, and it's really cool. It's really awesome to see the youth work, and I feel like it helps them with leadership skills, business skills. They can put it on their resume, and it's also, you know, adding healthy habits in the community and being more sustainable, which I feel like is important. So yeah, if there's any questions, you could ask right now. I'll be happy to answer them. And we also will be there on Saturday. So I'm excited to meet some of you in person as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And you're working, going to college full time, and heading up this survey. So you got your plate full. Congratulations.
Yeah,
keep it up.
congratulations.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
No questions.
Well, no questions. Okay. I just have a quick question. I just want to say, well, not even a question, a comment. Just I was thinking this, and I mentioned this to Jason at Brotherhood Sister Soul last year. But you gotta make sure that you get your demographic is gonna be parents and seniors. A lot of seniors, especially if they live with the family or they're close to the family, which most of us are. Even if you don't live in the same household, for instance, my mother will absolutely pick me up vegetables, whether I ask her or not. She will pick me up at the farmers market. So at the senior centers, getting it to the PA, the parent coordinator, that's a good way to explore that as well. Now,
I stopped at the Manhattanville Community Center. When I was over there, I stopped there, and I also went to the New York Public Library. We're going to be doing a forum there as well, just to further reach people. So thank you for those points. It's just so hard, especially because I'm not from there. So that's why I appreciate you giving me the space to reach the community, because I feel like the more people there are, the better this can be.
Now, I know one thing, people are always nervous about sharing information because they're worried about if there's a citizenship status, they're worried if their information is going to be shared. So to that end, do you have a disclaimer on the survey, or do you want to tell?
So basically the first thing they'll see is a consent, like, do you consent to the survey? And we also don't take any names. We will have your email because it is with Google, but we're not taking that part. We're just using it to kind of see our demographics in the area, to how to pivot the market to those people who are in the area. So it's not, we're not judging or anything. Like, you know, times are tough, you know, produce is so expensive. So it's just about making more resources for the community.
I love it. I love it. All right, wonderful.
I've taken the survey.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. We have 40 respondents so far. I know we wanted 50, so we're close to our goal, but us being overachievers, like, we want to at least get like 100. So we'll see.
Especially Saturday, you're gonna get more people.
Yeah, and definitely come to that listening event. If you all want to come, you could sign up. Like, we would love to hear your opinions or here's your experiences with food or farmers markets, anything that could help. So thank you so much.
All right, and then I want to say to everybody on the call as well, please share with your networks about the public health forum on Saturday. Even if you yourself don't intend to come, if you have a list that goes out to parents and students, please feel free to share. So that way we get as much of the community involved as possible. Okay, because we do, I mean, there's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know if teenagers will say that, but me as an adult and knowing what it is to offer, parents will definitely benefit, and teenagers, if we can get them there, will benefit as well. Informative. Yes, it will be informative and helpful, and I'm so excited about it. So, all right. Are there any questions on the
No questions in the chat.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm going to log off now, but I'll see you all on Saturday. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Fabulous. Let's go to our next. We're almost through the agenda, guys. Thank you again for being so patient. We've got education through music and then Columbia Community Impact. So Nick LaFleur, Nicholas, if you're there, please unmute yourself. I thought I saw him signed in earlier.
He is, I see him signed in, but I'm
You
not
might
sure.
have stepped away from the computer.
Nick?
All right, so
Okay,
let's do this.
Sabrina.
Why is it so low? Okay, let's go ahead and we'll go back to Nicholas. We'll go to Satrina, who's been patiently waiting. First, one of the first people here. Satrina, please feel free. The floor is yours.
Sure.
Yes.
So I'm between the door and for presenting at the door, so that means go quickly. I'm really just joking. So
I don't see you. I don't see you.
You want to sit here? Oh, I'm not in. I'm just gonna talk versus sharing.
Okay.
It'll just make it longer if I share. So this way it's just easier. So really glad to be back here. I've come for the last several years. So I'm representing Community Impact at Columbia University. Community Impact is a separate nonprofit from the university. Right?
Yes.
We have been around for over 40 years, started by 2 Columbia students who literally walked outside the gate, saw what was happening in the community, and decided to start a food pantry and soup kitchen. From that, we've grown to be over 20 programs covering adult education, youth achievement, and emergency food programs. Those 20 programs, the phenomenal part is that they are all student run. So they are student basically clubs on campus. We are a small nonprofit. Our budget's of roughly $2 million, of which we raise 80% from private funds. The great thing though is we are, located at the university, so they're able to give us space, but everything else to do the programs, we have to raise ourselves. I mentioned the 3 categories of programs that we have: youth achievement, it's tutoring, mentoring, and cultural enrichment. Those are all done, like I said, by student volunteers who actually work with partners in the community. So folks mentioned PS 36, PS 125, Grand Wyndham. We work with all those partners as well, because as we all know that there's great need. So in youth achievement, one of the great programs there too, America Reads, which is very similar to Reading Partners. So our volunteers are in the schools once a week, working with students on literacy. And what they found is that many students just need homework help as well. So if that's needed, they can provide that as well. This past year, we extended to 2 additional schools. So now there's 7 schools that we're working with, and there's a wait list of schools. We don't have as many students willing to, able to do it at this point. For emergency food programs, we have a food pantry across the street from Broadway Presbyterian, and students also have what they call community lunch on Fridays at Broadway Presbyterian as well. So the food pantry, unfortunately, for 2023, served 30,000 people. That number continues to increase. And it has increased markedly since the pandemic. Obviously, we are now serving more migrant families, but of late, we've seen a lot more women and children that are not necessarily migrants, just falling on hard times. So the number has gone from 26,000 to now 30,000 in 2023. And the trajectory right now it will be more than that. For 2024, there was one day last week where we served 180 people, like one day, which we had never seen before. But with grants from West Harlem Development Corp, Food Pantry of New York, and others, we're able to meet the need, but that demand is outpacing our resources at this point. For adult education, really great programs. The 2 biggest are GED, continuing education, so that folks can get their high school equivalency diploma to then move on to either college or work. And then our English as a second language programs, which continually have a waiting list as well. But we do Spanish, Mandarin, and French, and if there's a need, we can do Russian as well. Again, these are all Columbia and Barnard and TC students who are teaching these classes and coordinating all of these programs. Every year we have between 800 and 1,000 student volunteers who actually run the programs. We can serve, depending on the schools that we're working with, there could be upwards of 1,500 students that we're working with. The programs continue to run during COVID. So we all stopped working or went home in March. The city started to open back up slightly in June. The food pantry was open in June, right? Because of the need. In addition to those 3 sort of categories of programs, what we'd like to talk about is the fact that the student coordinators and the student volunteers are learning to be great citizens, but they are developing their leadership skills, right? That's the piece that's not talked about as often, but because we are just providing support to the students, they're going out and they're finding the partners, they're scheduling everything, they're kind of figuring out what skill sets they need as they recruit volunteers. They are developing those leadership skills. And there's no stopping the students at this point. The great thing is at Columbia, you know, we have a new president. One of her main thrusts is really around Columbia local. That's what community impact has been doing for the past 40 years. So we're completely aligned with the president's mission, and she's just trying to sort of get her feet wet to kind of figure out what is really needed. But the good thing is that we're providing at least the local community needs at this point. On April 19th, we are actually having a community breakfast where we're honoring folks around the city who are what we call education innovators, work in, workforce development, some folks some partners from the DOE, as well as some corporate partners. So it's actually a fundraiser for us, but it's free for anyone who wants to come and celebrate along with us and learn more about our programs. So if you're in the park or walking around and you hear someone talk about one-to-one tutoring or a mentoring program or Columbia Youth Adventures, all of those programs fall under the community impact umbrella. But most community members don't know community impact, they know the specific program that they're engaged in. And my children have benefited from the program. Many students in the area have benefited. I'll leave you with this great example. Columbia Youth Adventures, they essentially on Saturdays, they work with grant houses, the tenant association, and they have a whole group of students that they meet with every Saturday to take them to places around the city to just expose them culturally. Oh, nice. And then they figured out the light bulb went off that these students said they hadn't been on Columbia's campus, and they literally lived across the street. So one of the inaugural things that we always do with the students is literally take them to campus so that they feel welcome there and they don't mind walking through. That's fabulous. So I'll stop there. I'll send a presentation to you that I was going to go through. Yeah. But that is community impact. Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah. I have a quick question. Is the Big Sips program still active under community?
Yeah, Big Sips is active. All the programs are active. Some of them may become inactive if there's not real interest from the students. But you can imagine this year, one of the things that I'm proud of is that given all the activism on campus, the students have made the leap to say activism can be working in the community as well. So we have a lot of volunteers.
That's wonderful. That's great.
Congratulations.
That's great. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yes, that's great.
That just blew my mind. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
And even just to think about the fact that they live so close and they have been on a campus, you can just walk on.
Yeah.
But they haven't.
It's
intimidating.
It's intimidating. I was going to say that. If you don't know, somehow you think you're barred out if you don't know.
Yeah. If you don't feel welcome, you don't feel like you belong there, but you do.
Oh,
do.
Oh, yeah.
So,
It's in your community, it's in your neighborhood.
That's fantastic.
And then the students who come from, really all over the world, and they're in the schools and they're working, they're supposed to only be an hour and a half, but some of them you'll find them they'll stay the whole afternoon. This week is spring break for Columbia students, but some of them stayed around because they didn't want the kids that they're working with to fall behind. And the kids have their spring break coming up in a few weeks. So to your point about literacy, that is the soapbox that I'm on. Because there's no way that kids should not be able to read.
No, you can't. Absolutely.
Can't even do your math.
Absolutely. No,
you really can't do anything. So a lot of our student tutors have said, yes, we're working on literacy. However, there's so many basic things that the students need. Working with PS 36 and PS 125, we're working with the entire schools. Like every classroom has either America Reads or Artists Reaching Out student in it. And we could see, obviously they won't share the results with us, but we know just the impact that those students are making in the classroom.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. That's
young
great.
People that volunteer, the students, they get credits or?
They are just volunteering their time.
Oh,
Yeah.
put it on the resume.
Oh, absolutely, they do, and
Yeah,
particularly
right.
when they coordinate a program. Cause it's like, you know, they take 12, 15, 18 hours rigorous course load, but, they're spending hours calendaring, reaching out to partners.
Yes.
When the students go to artists reaching out on Friday afternoons, someone comes on Thursdays to prepare all the bags for the classroom so that they can, right? So it's all
Yeah,
that,
it's all that.
things that we don't kind of think about.
Correct.
No, but there's an
That needs to
emotional
develop.
connection too.
Yeah,
Correct.
oh, absolutely.
Involved with people.
Yeah, correct.
So,
Are there any questions online for Sabrina?
No question. I do have a, sorry.
No, okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I do have a question. You mentioned something on April 9th.
April 19th is our community breakfast. So we're calling it a public service celebration, an award ceremony. So we're awarding or honoring sort of 5 people across the city who've done a lot from an education standpoint.
Okay.
And then we'll also honor some of our volunteers as well.
Okay, very nice. And that is in the website. Do you have a website?
Yeah, communityimpact.columbia.edu.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want us
Thank
to share that? You said anybody's welcome to come. Does that mean anybody's welcome to come? Do you want us to share it?
Yeah, well, I'll send the information. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we're always looking for more partners to work with. We work with about 80 partners in Harlem, Washington Heights, and Inwood. So we're always looking for
We'll be sure to
more.
say that's a fundraiser too, so.
Yes, it's definitely a fundraiser.
Don't mention that part.
We changed the gala model, which is what we typically have, and we're like, you know what, we just need to get out of that model, get as many people to learn about what we're doing as possible.
It has its place, but it's a little outdated. I like the new way of doing, more people are doing, yeah, it's nice to have a place, but I like people are doing brunches, they're doing breakfasts, they're doing something a little bit different. It's still the same kind of thing, but it is lighter somehow,
It is
more
lighter.
digestible.
Yes.
Yeah, less concern about echelon and
Yes.
Yeah, and then we have
more
this
focus
one,
on
we
what's
have
happening.
more of our student volunteers to come.
I love it, yes.
And so you don't need to talk to me, talk to them, because
Right.
they're doing the work.
They're
Like, I'm
doing
just
the work.
behind the scenes. They're the ones who are out there really doing the work.
Please tell them on behalf of myself and Deirdre, and I suppose YEL, if you feel comfortable, please keep up the good work, and thank you for just being so involved.
Yeah.
I can't believe they don't get college credit. Amazing. No, really. I remember college was like all about like, oh, I gotta get credits, I gotta get credits, get credits, and get out of here. I don't know what I was rushing to, anyway.
They get a bag or a pen, you're like, something with some swag, and that's about it.
Yeah, that was swag. Yeah. All right, great. I wanna see if Nick is back. Nick LaFleur?
Going once, going twice.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Don't leave me.
Like, I don't want to end the meeting, but we are waiting for you now.
Oh, good.
So,
Okay.
Yes, do you need screen sharing capabilities?
Yes, please.
Absolutely. Give us one moment.
He has it.
Okay.
Like, you can go ahead
Okay.
and share your person.
Yeah, I think let me see if I can do my piece here. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, I think this will work. Give me a sec. And let me just put it in view slideshow mode. Okay. Is everybody seeing this at this point?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. So thanks for having Education Through Music at your community board meeting. It's been really informative and awesome to hear from all the other community-based organizations and the work they do. So that was wonderful to listen to.
Thank you.
I'll just give you, I guess, I correct me if I'm wrong, I'll give you a quick overview of Education Through Music and then explain the work we're doing at the school in your community board district. Is that what I should do?
Sounds good.
Okay, great, thank you. So Education Through Music, well, first of all, sort of bigger picture context. So in New York City, there's a great need for arts education in the New York City public schools, which, as was pointed out, is the biggest school system in the country. However, and not only the, the capital, cultural capital of the United States or the world at times referred to as we are in New York City. About 54% of the music of the schools in New York City do not have a licensed music teacher on staff. Admittedly, they may have, dance or visual art or some other art form which fulfills the state requirements, but the fact is that many do not, and there's a great need. So that's what we are sort of created to address that need. And we work with Title I schools exclusively. So schools of need that may be under-resourced, we step in to help those schools rebuild music programs that are core curricular, serve all students, fulfill state learning standards, with the long-term goal of that principal being able to hire the teacher back onto their staff, on their budget, and I like to say repatriate the music program back into the schools. So we've been around for 33 years, and these are just some fun stats, I guess. We've worked with 150 schools in the city over that 33-year period. We've had 300,000 students in our programs, and if you look at the per student hours per week per year, we've added up to about 8 million hours. I'll break that down to make it a little more, easier to get your head around, but those are just the top level stats. Just for example, this year we're in 50 schools. In those 50 schools, we serve 18,000 students. And we see each of those students every week. So it's a core curricular full year program. So it runs for 35 point whatever, four weeks, almost 36 weeks of the school year. And so we see those students every week, those 18,000. So that's how we get up to those big numbers. So we're here to impact student motivation, achievement, self-confidence. In other words, bring a high quality music program that allows students to engage, express themselves, experience music making, and benefit from all the cognitive and developmental things that a music program has to offer as part of a well-rounded education, which is widely recognized. Children need to move, sing, dance. It's very healthy, obviously, for them to do that kind of activity. And what goes into music, the music making activity and the music learning activity, there's a lot of complex cognitive processes happening. They may be watching the conductor, they may be singing lyrics, they may be singing a melody, there may be another part of that choir singing a different contrasting melody. So they're balancing, they're comparing, they're matching, or they're developing independence. So there's a whole host of those type of things, which when I say they're developing cognitively, I'm referring to those types of things. So we strive to be a leader in music education, and bring expert music teachers in with the expert curriculum, which we also develop, and provide professional development as well as music teachers. So when I say professional development, of course, we provide a lot of professional development support, mentoring to our own teachers on our payroll, because we're responsible for bringing that school a successful program, and we're responsible for the teacher's performance and the quality of the program. So what happens is, in our model, when we achieve our end game, the principal of that school will hire our music teacher if it's the right fit, if expectations are met. But therefore, we maintain a relationship by continuing to provide professional development for those teachers that have been hired by the school district, by the New York City Department of Education. So there's sort of a long timeline to our partnerships. They're often multi-year, 4 or 5 years at times, even longer sometimes. So this is sort of what we do. I've sort of talked through most of this already, so I'll just leave that for 2 seconds, and then I guess I'll move on. Okay, so I mentioned already we serve we're in 50 schools. Since we do Title I only, our the rate of below poverty line is 86%. Citywide, it's 70% in the school system, students and their families. But because of the Title I schools that we work with, it's a higher rate. But that's where we go to serve and to help those schools that may be under resourced and need our help and want our help and want to engage in this long-term process of rebuilding their music program. So that's what we do. So we are in your community board district, community board 9, we have one partnership, PS 192. And here's some of the demographics of that school. It's a small school, it's an elementary PK to 5, 250 total students. And we see all the kindergarten through 5th grades as a regular weekly special core curricular music program on a weekly basis. And we have actually 2 music teachers working there on 2 days per week. We started a little late in the year. We got notice. See, what happened was, I'll just jump to the next slide, which is that we got notice of this grant a little bit late after the school year had started, although we had a pre-existing partnership with this school, which is at 35th and Broadway. But the principal had intended to continue because we had really successful programming. But then she told me on August 31st, her budget was in shambles and she couldn't give her part of the contribution to make it possible. Basically, the way that works is for every dollar a school gives us, we fundraise 2. So they give about 1/3 of the cost of the program. And part of the rationale behind that is that we are working with schools that want to eventually hire their teacher onto their budget. So there is a budget buy-in for the school because they have to be really serious about wanting a long-term outcome from this. And to just make it affordable, because we're providing a heavy load of service and we just need that financial support from the school, or from I should say the DOE, from their budget. But anyway, we got the grant. She's told us August 31st we couldn't continue. We were really sorry about it, but nothing we could do. But then we got notice of a grant from the West Harlem Development Corporation at the very end of September. And so I got back in touch with the school and said, hey, great news. We can do this now. We've got this grant. So, and that's how it unfolded. But with the teacher shortage and things, we couldn't actually get the teachers in place until mid-January. And that is when we started services, which have been going strong ever since, every Monday, Tuesday at the school. So I've said a lot. I guess I'll just pause there if there's any questions about any of the above.
That was a lot. You're in 50 schools right now?
We're in 50 right now. 50 New York City, all 5 boroughs.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Well, first of all, kudos to you for continuing to outreach with that principal, even because you could have said, well, the time has passed, we can do something else. So really kudos to you for continuing that partnership. And any students who I guess saw you last year are probably happy to see you again. So that's fantastic. You mentioned that you're serving every K through 5. Could you tell me how many classrooms that is? Because I don't know if there's like 2 Ks, 2 1s. I'm just curious.
Yeah. Offhand, I'm just remembering. So schools are either they have an 8-period day, which means 6 teaching periods, or a 7-period day, which means 5 teaching periods. I can't remember I think they're a 7-period day with 5 teaching periods per day. And I think it's a total of 10 classes, K to 5. There's 1 or 2, there's 2 on most grade levels, 2 class sections on most grade levels, but on a couple, there's only 1, which is why it comes out to 10 total, I think, 10 total classes, which takes 2 full days of service per week.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Your 2, are they, well, not volunteers, your 2 workers, they have a full day. Yeah, each day like, yeah. I want to the floor to, go ahead, I'm sorry, Nick.
No, just to throw in that the context is that, so we hire teachers that are career minded as music teachers and they're full days of work. Every day, every teacher works a full day, even if they only do a 3-day a week, work schedule with us, those are full days, because ultimately they are going to integrate into the school culture and become part of that school. And so we set it up to they function just like other teachers do, basically.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. So that way, if they want to continue their career path as well, you mentioned that at the beginning, that they would be able to do so.
Yes, that is the goal. That's the whole intent of what we do, to address that teacher music program shortage in the school system, to repatriate, get them back onto school budgets. And we also provide tuition reimbursement for teachers getting certified and a variety of supports to help them progress.
That's wonderful.
That's really
that's
wonderful.
really wonderful.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That is great.
Oh man. Okay.
It's hard
I want to
work,
make
you know? It's not easy.
I don't want to take up all questions. Does anybody have any questions? Lydia, go.
Nick, are you a teacher?
I was, yes.
You were in the public school system?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I was. I'm
So this was-
certified in New York State too.
Okay, no, I was just curious. I'm an old timer. I went to music in our high school. Now it's part of Madia. Yeah, but I
So
don't
did our
remember.
executive director.
Excuse me?
Our executive director also went to Music and Arts High School.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what were you
That's
gonna say? You
great.
didn't finish your point.
I
You were
don't know,
saying
again,
that,
I wanted to ask.
Sorry, you were saying
No, I'm
something
just
like you
curious
went
that
to our
the
high
what.
school and as part of the guardian, you don't recall them having something like a
Oh, I
program?
don't recall having music before I got to music in our high school. That's what I was trying to say. We had speech, but maybe I'm wrong. I didn't have it in elementary school. I didn't have it in junior high. I only had it starting in high school. And I was living in a fairly affluent area. This is the Sutton Place area. So, I'm sorry we didn't get it earlier, but I don't remember getting it in the public. I'm a product of public schools.
I didn't get in public school. I only got it because my mother sent me to homeschool at arts in the summer. And I took piano.
FDA had it. I had a clarinet.
But not in elementary school. Yeah,
Elementary school. I
every
had music.
You had, we had.
Yeah, PS 161, the recorder.
Yeah, PS200 and music.
I grew up in Manhattanville, yeah.
Yeah, my daughter had a recorder at PS 125, I think, or TCPS, one of them. But yeah.
And voice.
And voice, yeah. But I think that's the point of the conversation, is that music is not widely available, and I don't know why, because it's so much fun.
It's so much fun.
It's so much fun, whether you have chorus or you have like band, it's so enjoyable. And I only got to really enjoy it once I got to high school, but it's nice that they could start exploring that, because there are a lot of different pathways you can take in your life that music is involved in.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic.
If you have to justify music, which all of the arts at the beginning of man's intellectual ability, from cave painting, imitating the sounds of animals, is how we develop intellectually, and learning to think abstractly. You can't defend this. I mean, you have to just say we have to have it.
You have to have it. I mean, look at the Tibetan singing bowls and how you can like get that hum and go into like a nice meditative state. That's important. I'm telling you, like, you need to have a little relaxation time for your brain. It helps. So I love it. I don't want to take up all the floor though. Does anyone have any questions for Nick? Any comments? All right.
Thank you. Keep up the great work. How we can
You're
support
welcome. You know, I wanted to just add one. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, go ahead.
I just wanted to add one little piece to the conversation that you guys were just generating there, which is that I talk with a lot of principals, I talk with a lot of community members, I talk with a lot of people in the music education world in New York City. And when I hear from people that went to school in the 50s and 60s in New York City, I mean, by and large, they talk about the really strong music programs they had. And it really breaks my heart, because they were strong. They were really intensely strong and really high quality in those days. But then a whole series of things, financial crisis, like focus on academics, principals being rated on their test scores, you know, it just eroded over the last 30 years, 40 years, and, you know, to bring us where we are today. And so as you sort of are all feeling, yeah, there's funny laugh. Wait a minute, why is that? You know, and this is just a whole series of historical things that led us here. So, but, you know, that's why we're all here, and that's the work we do.
It's really interesting in times of crisis, the things that get cut, and it's almost always creativity. Almost always
creativity.
in every area.
Well, they're afraid of that too, because it causes you to think independently.
Right, exactly.
If you start thinking independently, then you're not going to be like a little ant. You won't be.
Yeah, right.
You know, you might have like
be a worker bee. And your head on the ground.
And have your head on the ground.
That's right.
And I noticed that even at my job, that if we are in times of number crunching, those programs where they have like, oh, there's yoga for the employees on Thursday, suddenly there's no more yoga. And, and we have outings every month, and some there's no more outings. The creative stuff always gets cut first, and we have to rally against that. So I thank everyone here for doing your part. I truly appreciate it because, and Nick, you as well, and everybody on the Zoom is what I'm saying, because if we don't give it to them, they won't have it. The society has shown us already they're not going to give it to them. They're cutting library hours, they're cutting teachers, they're cutting everything they can to kind of squeeze us and push us down into a little box. And so it's really important to flourish beyond that. Having creativity is what will be able to set you apart from maybe the everyday experience so that you can enjoy your life a little bit more, I hope. I think you find a little bit more enjoyment when you're able to be creative. So yeah.
Agreed. That's intuitive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mine too.
And Nick, I was just fussing. I was saying, please send me your form because you were one of the ones like, I need that right away. So send it to me tonight. Send it to Deidre and I will make sure we get it to you okay tomorrow. All right.
Can you remind me what form that is?
Your WHCC form. You mentioned you got a grant as well.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
Tomorrow. Okay. I'll talk to my development guy. We'll make sure you get it.
Okay. Yes, please. All right. No worries. Thank you so much. Now,
thank you.
Close the meeting. Is there any old business? Did you want to say?
Before you close the meeting, I didn't want to interrupt. To let you close, so I don't want to stop the meeting. So there's a few questions I just wanted to ask.
All right, but it doesn't have to be during the meeting. We'll close the meeting. So no, I'm asking you. Is it something?
All I wanted to do was to talk to the group again.
Okay.
Okay. I have I'm coming to the meeting. I haven't been to one of the community board meetings for 10 or 15 years when it was up in Broadway. And I'm coming because I have a personal problem that I came here to see whether or not I could get information that might assist me. So when I came last week, I got your information and dealing with the reason that I came, because when I looked at the sheet, I said, okay, they can help me. So I came today, the housing, land use, and the zoning. So I didn't know how it worked.
That's next door. You heard me. You must not have.
No, this is the first time that.
No, she did.
Oh, we were saying when we put
library. You said library. That's okay. Do you want to try to go across
yeah, they're still there.
See if they're still there?
Yeah, they're still there.
They should be still there.
They're absolutely still there.
See, I didn't know. I haven't been here. First time I've been here, so I didn't know how it worked.
Community board meeting. That means it's for the community. All right, I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Everyone on Zoom, please feel free to log out. Thank you for your attendance. Feel free to email us if you have any questions.
We need the team to stay.
We need a team to sit.
So you don't need them to be with you to the health forum on Saturday?
I mentioned it at the beginning, and LaQueen signed on too. And I'll send out an email so that Alyssa kind of like gave you a little nod, like maybe no.
What is that?
If you want to volunteer Saturday. All right, I'll send out an email again to see if we can make it, and I'll be there all day, start to finish.
I would say I enjoyed the meeting. It's educational and I learned.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Will you let me in when I come back?
Dedra?
See you next week, Shanika.
Dedra?
Hi.
Question for you.
How do I get added to the mailing list? I'm from Barnard College.
I'm sorry.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, I just wanted to know how I get added to the community board meeting. The community board mailing list.
So you can just, if you drop your email in the chat, we'll send it to Hakil or Madison, and we'll have you added to the CB9.
All right, just sent it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
What time late from a low?
Bye, guys. Good night, Deidre. Bye, Shania.
Good night, Alicia. I saw Francina. Good
Bye,
night,
Coach.
Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Good night. I'm so excited.
Yes, yes. That's been a big ask.
Deidre, read the chat. Shanique.